everyone. It's Haley here, your vision impaired host. You are currently watching part two, so jump back over to part one because there's some great information. We are so excited about our podcast that we just had to break it up. So please join us for part one and have a good day.
Here at The Whole Person, we believe everyone deserves the chance to live independently and with confidence, regardless of ability. And to make that happen, we need volunteers like you. By joining us, you'll have the opportunity to support impactful areas, from administration and event planning to hands-on roles like assisting with our blind and low vision programs or helping at our special events like the Big Dill Classic and Expressions Art Exhibition. Every role, whether it's outreach, community engagement, or even offering pro bono professional services, makes a lasting difference. The Whole Person serves over 2,500 individuals annually, and with your help, we can make their dreams a reality. As a volunteer, you'll become part of a vibrant, supportive community dedicated to empowering people with disabilities. Our roles are flexible, meaningful, and tailored to fit your interests and expertise. Ready to make a difference? Visit thewholeperson.org/volunteer to explore our wide range of volunteer opportunities and get involved. Together, let's make independence accessible for all. Just a little of your time can lead to amazing change.
Hey everyone, I'm Haley. Welcome to the whole podcast. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the show. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. We are back from our break. We have Andrea from the Foundation of Fighting Blindness with us.
Hi.
And so we are just so excited to continue our conversation. So if it's okay with you, I'd like to just jump right into the rest of the questions, if that's all right.
Absolutely.
Cool. I just repeated myself like 100 times there. So
Not at all. That's great.
it's going to be a good day.
That's great.
Yeah. Okay. So I know that you said that people call you first a lot for guidance and help and support because it's really hard to know where to go. So, what advice would you give somebody who was newly diagnosed, coming to your organization and saying, "Where do I go? What do I do?"
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, and of course everybody's coming from a different perspective.
Yeah.
Everybody has different needs. Um Overall, I empower individuals that I'm speaking to try to get informed as they can
Mhm.
about their vision loss.
Yeah.
Yes, it may be very scary and daunting. I
Mhm.
hear words like overwhelming often.
Mhm.
It's a lot to process.
Is
And not that you can, not that like Googling and going on WebMD and sometimes there's too much information out there.
yes.
But if you can learn as much as you can about your type of vision loss, if you know what it is,
Mhm.
and inform yourself
Mhm.
on kind of what to expect,
Mhm.
sometimes that's better than kind of just waiting and seeing what happens.
Yes.
I would say for I always ask people, like, what can I help you with? Like, what are you looking for? Some
Mhm.
people don't know what they're looking for.
Right.
And some people just want to be heard and to have someone to verbally process this
Mhm.
experience or this information with.
Yeah.
So I try to be a good listener and a good sounding board
Mhm.
for people that are calling for that purpose.
Mhm.
Sometimes I can even introduce them to someone in their community that maybe has a similar experience
Mhm.
or has been where they are or are going.
Mhm.
I try to identify like low vision service providers, like the whole person that could provide specific resources or insight or services as a way.
Mhm.
I always try to give people and encourage people to get connected and get involved in their community.
Mhm.
And not as a selfish, like, join the chapter
Right,
pitch, but
right.
more of a, everything's better when you're around like-minded people.
Yes.
People that can understand what you're experiencing. People are that are not that, let's say, aren't gonna question
Mhm.
your
Blindness.
yeah, or your response,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? Because
Yes.
everybody's processing very differently.
Mhm,
So, I would say get informed as informed as you can
mhm.
to your comfort level.
Yeah.
If you have an inherited retinal disease, to get always encourage people to get genetically tested.
Yes.
There's so many benefits to that. Even if you're not interested in a clinical trial
Mhm,
or being involved in something like that,
mhm,
that's more information that you can equip yourself with.
mhm,
I also encourage people to find out as much as you can about the local resources and access that
mhm,
you or what you have access to
mhm,
based on where you are, your level of vision,
mhm.
um, and I think I think those that's what comes to mind first.
Yeah,
And I'm sure there's more, but it depends on the scenario and the person.
it does.
Some people don't want to hear a bunch of information
Yeah.
from me. They're calling to say, "I need this. I need this.
Mhm,
Who can you send me to?"
mhm,
I also lastly, I would also I know we talked earlier about how it can be hard to find a retinal specialist
mhm,
that knows about your specific type of vision loss,
mhm.
but I would say if your doctor that you're seeing that you're comfortable with does not know about your type of vision loss, to maybe try to find or to let us or another low vision service provider help you find a doctor that specializes or at least has an understanding
Mhm.
of your type of vision loss, especially if you have a rare condition.
Yeah, yeah,
That really will benefit
yeah.
you as the patient in the
Yes.
long term.
Yeah. I appreciate what you do when people call in first because you're right. Sometimes people just already kind of know a little bit of what they need, but then there's other people who don't know
Right.
and maybe just want somebody to listen. And that's important in that sometimes even family members don't understand everything that you're going through, and it's hard to explain it to somebody if you don't understand what you're going through yourself. And
Exactly.
so
Yes.
they just need somebody to listen.
Right.
And family members, I love family members because they're so supportive, but a lot of people are like, "Okay, action plan. What do we do? What do we, and it's you just need to stop for a minute and just let the person speak." So,
Yes. Yes. Well, and some people aren't comfortable talking to their family about it.
yes. Yes,
I
I've
talk
seen
to a
that.
lot I talk to a lot of people that are trying to figure out how to tell their employer
Yeah,
because they're concerned
that's
about their
scary.
job being in jeopardy,
Super
which
scary.
I understand that,
Yep.
and that's
Mhm.
tricky.
Yes.
That's hard.
Yes.
So I try to I start with listening always,
Mhm.
and I'm trying to help them find what they need.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I would say for anybody newly diagnosed, equipping yourself with as much information as you can handle
Yep.
is important.
Yep. I agree.
Even as scary and overwhelming as it may feel,
Mhm.
when you have information that better equips you
Mhm.
down the line.
And then you can figure out how to explain it to people and
Yes.
start receiving the help. And, once I started, because in the beginning, I did not share with, like, random people or, like,
Right.
colleagues or anything like that. I didn't share my vision impairment because I didn't know how to explain it.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, again, I was young. I was dealing with having to give up my driver's license, and that was a big battle in my
Mm,
family. I did not wanna do that.
sure.
And I understand it now, but, like, I had just gotten my license. So, like,
Yeah.
dealing with all of that is just it's
It's a
it's a
lot.
lot. So,
It's a lot.
but once I started sharing with people and, like, using my cane finally and stuff like that, it actually enhances my day because there's a lot of construction happening here,
Yeah.
and I will use my cane to just kinda navigate, like, "Should I go this way? Should I go this way?" And the construction guys were like, "Oh, we're gonna walk you through this." And they just held out their arm and we were just walking
That's
along, and it
great.
was the best morning ever. It was so good.
That's great.
So, having the courage to share it after you understand it is
That's a big
very
step.
rewarding.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sure. And it's a big step.
Yes.
And that you bring up a good point about the white cane. I
Mhm.
know I've talked to quite a few people over the years who have mentioned that they're hesitant
Yes.
to pursue white cane
Yep.
or O&M training
Yep.
because they don't want to be perceived
Blind.
blind,
Yeah.
or and because maybe they're not, maybe they're,
Yeah. Vision
blindness is a
impaired.
spectrum.
Yep.
Maybe they have partial
Mhm.
vision. But I always empower people that the cane is an indicator for everyone else.
Yes.
It's not a
Yeah.
it's not to be perceived as a weakness for you.
Yes.
It's a tool
It is.
that you collect information from the cane,
And
and
it's
you're projecting to others, "Hey, stay out of my way,"
Yep.
or "This may be a good time to assist me
Yes.
if I need that,"
Yes.
or, and you
Yeah.
can Haley, you can speak to more
No, you're doing
specific
great with it.
examples, but I know when I hear apprehension from people, I understand that.
Mhm.
But I also wanna empower them
Yes.
to, again, to get more information
Mhm.
because the 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 White King could be life
It is.
life changing
It is.
and give you so much independence
Mhm.
and
You're correct.
and power back.
Yeah. There,
Is that right? And again,
no,
not
no, you nailed it. That was perfect. I couldn't have said it better myself.
No.
It reminds me of a story, a client I was working with, and she is so funny. She has the best outlook on life.
Mm.
And when I first started working with her, she was very against any type of help. She's like, no, I can do this. No, I can do this. No, I can do this. I don't need the white cane. I don't need you to come into my home and help me learn how to cook again.
Yeah.
Like nothing. And so I started working with her slowly and started broaching some ideas and now she is very fond of her air fryer that she was not using and I told her to use. I was like, "I need you to get this out right now."
This will help you.
She uses it every day now,
Oh, good.
and now she's also using her cane, and she
Oh.
is proud of it.
Mhm.
She was very apprehensive to use it, and the level of independence she got from it, she is just walking around like she is just a
She's
celebrity.
owning the place.
She loves it,
Out of my
and,
way.
one day she was at the mall or something, I don't remember all the details, and you know how they have the glass, like, doors and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's really hard to tell if it's a door or the
Yeah.
she was having problems with that, and she was just using her cane and kinda, like, looking at the situation, and the lady decided to open up the store before it was time to open and let her come in
Oh,
and get all the chocolate she wanted, so
well,
she's
there
like,
you go.
"Best day ever," and she laughs to this day. We will laugh about that experience so hard,
The best.
and she is the story I tell when I tell people, "This is why you need to use your cane."
Yeah, not to be afraid
Yeah,
or
no,
apprehensive.
no,
Be
it's
it's
independence.
different, but it's independence.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
great.
it's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't even know what questions we're on.
Where do we go from here?
Yeah, where do we go from
Oh,
here?
there's so much more to discuss, Haley.
I
Where do we
know,
go?
I
What
know,
do you wanna know?
everything. Okay. Actually, that's a great segue into our next
Oh.
question. Ah, what advancements in research? So,
Mm.
I know we talked a little bit about the research, but is there something specific you would want people to know about, if they've never heard of the foundation
Yeah.
before?
Yeah. Well, I wanna mention, and I'm making sure that I get this statistic correct
Yeah, yeah.
because it's impressive and it's true. The the projects that the foundation has funded
Uh-huh.
over the years, let's say since 2005, um, we through what we have been able to fund, we have identified 40% of the genes that cause blindness and vision loss. 40%.
What?
Yeah, it's substantial.
How's that
It's
what?
substantial.
Okay.
Yes. So
Okay.
preclinical or translational research projects, clinical trials,
Mhm, mhm,
all the different types of science grants that we've awarded over the years
mhm.
have identified 40% of the genes. So there's over, I think we've identified over 270 at
Mhm,
least
mhm.
different types of genes that cause vision loss.
Wow.
And again, talking about inherited retinal
Yeah,
diseases.
yeah,
So
yeah.
not
Age
necessarily,
related.
yeah. So age-related macular degeneration
Yeah.
and any of the inherited retinal
Yeah, yeah.
diseases spectrum. So RP, Usher syndrome,
Stargardt's.
Stargardt,
Mhm,
LCA,
mhm.
choroideremia, just to name a few.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a lot more.
Yes,
There's a lot more. We don't
yes.
need to get into all of them.
Yeah.
But some people ask us, diabetic retinopathy is very common. That's
Mhm.
not something we're funding research on.
Right.
Glaucoma, something very common, not
Yeah,
what we're funding research on.
yeah.
Uh, I don't want to keep saying it's niche, but because there
It
are quite
is.
a few people that are experiencing vision loss due to inherited retinal disease.
Mhm.
Those are the projects. That is the work that we're funding to slow the progression.
Okay.
And to slow the progression,
Mhm,
and I'm not saying we haven't identified cures yet.
mhm,
We're working on that,
mhm,
but the most success we've seen is in the projects, grants, research that slows the progression, and
mhm.
that's really important.
Yeah.
So I will say, like last fiscal year, we funded 35 new research grants,
Whoa,
35
that's a
individual projects,
lot.
and we were able to dedicate $19.8 million in the last fiscal year
You said
to,
million?
yes, with an M,
Ooh,
to grants,
yeah.
and that's substantial, and we're so proud of that, and we could not do that without the grassroots fundraising
Mhm,
initiatives that we're doing all over the country,
mhm,
without
mhm.
our donors, our sponsors. We're the largest private funder of
Yeah,
retinal disease research.
yeah.
We're not getting a bunch of grants from the government. We're this is all privately funded.
Wow.
Some I would say some more specific research that I'm excited about.
Mhm,
I would say for AMD, for age-related macular degeneration,
mhm.
and none of these are super new. Let's say the end of last year or maybe early within the last year. There have been two FDA approved, I don't say treatments, but
Yeah.
uh, treatments, Syfovre and Izervay. And you may have seen commercials or have heard of these.
Yeah.
These both slow the progression of vision loss for those that have geographic atrophy, which is
Okay,
kind of a late stage dry AMD.
okay.
Very promising. We've seen very good results from those clinical trials
And,
for AMD, dry
it
AMD.
it's a medicine of sorts or like
Hmm.
a medical procedure?
No, it's either and I'm not sure if it's a pill or a shot.
Right.
I think one's a pill, one's a shot.
Okay.
But again, all this information can be found on our website.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's been a lot of good progress with that. We're experimenting more recently with whole eye transplantation. Yeah.
What?
Hmm.
Okay,
So
continue.
we're looking we're exploring uh, projects that fund that research. Very promising.
So
It
interesting.
is. Oh, and I was gonna say
Yeah, yeah,
For
that's
Stargardt,
fine.
yeah, for Stargardt specifically, I was like, "Oh, let's have a Stargardt
Yes.
fun fact." There have been some really promising clinical trials recently, or let's say since January, where they're looking at splicing genes,
Okay.
or like the protein splicing in the
Mhm.
gene
Okay.
to help slow the progression, which is interesting.
That is interesting.
For Usher syndrome,
Mhm,
LCA, there's a lot of promising updates there.
mhm, mhm.
For and again RP, and again,
A
there's a lot.
lot.
There's a lot to
There's
go through,
so many.
but I just wanted to highlight just a few,
Yeah.
and the fact that both Izervay and Syfovre, what I mentioned for AMD, that those are FDA approved.
Mhm.
That's huge
Yeah.
because to go through anybody that knows about getting the life cycle of a clinical trial, getting
Yeah.
that FDA approved takes so long,
It does.
and it's substantial
Yes.
when it gets to that point.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So those are just some highlights,
Yeah.
but there's so much more. And we try not to inundate people with information about the science because some people don't want to hear the
Right.
details. People that aren't interested in clinical trials are like, I don't need to know that.
Yeah.
Some people are grossed out by the thought of like shots in the eye or
Yeah.
touching the eye. I
Yeah.
get that.
Eh,
As someone that struggles with my
I
contacts,
was
I
gonna say
understand.
context though.
I understand. Yeah, yeah, I understand. But there's so much. There's so much going on. There's so much that is promising. And I would just encourage people, it's easy to get frustrated because we
Mhm.
know how long it takes for something to be a lot of clinical trials
Yeah.
are not successful,
Yeah.
or they take a really long time to
Yeah.
go through their life cycle.
Yeah.
But this should give us so much hope. It gives me a lot of hope as someone that's working in these communities and and working with the people that are contributing to this important research.
Mhm.
It's really exciting and it's really important. And it's, I mean, even small amounts
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
for the vision walk.
Yes.
Okay. The vision walk is a free event. You
Yes.
can register,
Yep.
come to the vision walk, not make a donation.
Yep.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It is our largest fundraising event. So I always tell people, even if you can give a couple dollars,
Yeah.
that look what you're supporting.
Yes.
That's huge.
And it's going to a good place. Um,
It's going to such important
yeah,
research
like,
efforts.
you know where this
You
is
know
ending
where it's
up.
going.
Yeah, you see
It's
the
not coming
results.
to me. It's
Right?
going to
It's
the it's
not
going
coming.
no, it's going into the doctors, the
Yes.
clinicians, the researchers
Yes.
that are making life altering progress.
Yeah.
It's really exciting.
I know.
It is.
I could sit here talking to you for
I
forever.
know,
This
I
is
know. Well, and I'm so
oh,
excited. I wanna send you the more of the
yes.
Stargardt advances
Yes, I was gonna
specifically.
ask you to do that
I will.
because I don't know how to specifically just lock in on that
Yeah.
information.
Okay.
So and then I can share that, information with the group that I
Oh, of
email
course.
list.
Of course.
Um, I had another thought while you were talking about researchers.
Mhm.
I think you and I've talked about Dr. Stone before,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? He does a lot of research and forgive me, I do not understand all the
Oh, no.
technical stuff.
No, it's okay. I don't either.
Right, right. He does a lot of research on Stargards, if I
Mm.
understand it
Mhm.
correctly.
I believe he does.
Yeah, and I think he moved over to being a private something or another, like
Mm.
not needing government assistance.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, and so I think that expanded his research
Yeah.
uh, ability, for
Yeah.
lack of better terms.
Sure. Sure.
So I didn't know if you knew about his research and all that because I submitted cells or something. I don't know. They
Oh, okay.
they did a thing and took some cells out of my arm.
Yeah. How when was that? How
Ugh, why you ask me these
or it
things?
was a while ago?
It was a long time ago.
Okay,
I think it was like right.
this wasn't like a couple months ago. This was a while
No,
ago.
yeah.
Okay.
I think it was like right when I was
Oh,
diagnosed.
okay. Okay.
Yeah,
No, I know we work very closely with Dr. Ed
I
Stone.
love him
We
so
love him.
much.
He's doing so much good work.
Yeah,
I can't speak to currently
yeah,
his what he's working on
yeah.
because again,
It's a lot.
it changes and
Yes,
I don't know, but I know a lot of people in Kansas City I
yes,
know see him. A lot of people from in St. Louis, other parts of the Midwest travel to see him
yes,
because he specializes in different types of
yes.
IRD specific
Mhm,
work.
mhm.
So I can't speak to his current
Right.
workload, but I know we work very closely with him. We have a very good relationship with him.
That's amazing.
He's doing great work.
He is.
Keep up the great work,
Yes,
Dr. Stone.
yes. Please take our advice and keep up the good work.
Keep doing it.
Oh my gosh. No, he was the first doctor that I went to who is a specialist.
Mhm.
So my primary doctor, if I remember correctly, because again, I blacked out a lot of things.
Sure.
My primary eye doctor finally figured out what my diagnosis was. Um, and then he sent us to Stone. And then that's when I first was introduced to a low vision specialist.
Okay.
And then that just opened up so many doors. It was whew, so good to
Yeah.
know.
It's probably so different.
But I didn't know about that
Right.
stuff. And nobody knows until you need to know.
Right. Or until you are introduced to the right person
Yes.
that can tell you or advise you,
Yes.
"Hey, you should you should see a low vision
Mhm.
specialist," or you should have a doctor
Yeah.
that's not gonna say, "Oh, I don't know.
Right.
I I don't know anything about this type of vision loss."
Yeah.
Yeah,
But low vision doctors are hard to come by.
they are,
So
and that's really a challenge, and I don't know if I can't say with confidence that there's a shortage. I don't
yeah,
know.
I don't
I don't know that,
yeah.
maybe that's our homework. We look
Yes.
into that, see if
Yes.
there's actually a shortage or if it's just we still like I know my goals or one of the many goals I have for expanding
Mhm.
the chapters that I work with
Mhm.
is to be identifying more of these individuals
Yes.
that let's say they are where are the low vision specialists
Yes.
in Missouri for me in
Yes.
Missouri and in Kansas.
Yes. I don't have the answer, but I will help you find the answer. And
Well,
between the 2 of us, I think we could, change the world.
well, because that's there's a lot of different types of doctors, there's a lot of different types of specialists,
Mhm.
medical professionals,
Yep.
and and understanding the difference and how a low vision specialist
Yeah.
can help you.
Yes.
Let's say compared to a social worker
Mhm.
or a and you know Haley more of the terms than I do.
No, you're great.
Or like being in this line of work a little longer than me. Um, but just the different types of
Mhm.
people that can help
Mhm.
and what they provide.
Yeah.
That's important
Mhm.
because you don't know like we just said, you don't know
You know
what you need until you until you need it.
exactly.
Something I don't know if I've mentioned yet. Um, I can't say a majority, but a good amount of people that have that are diagnosed with an inherited retinal disease, they may not see vision loss progression
Yeah.
through yeah,
Years.
until later on in their life.
Yeah.
I know quite a few people that have RP or even Stargardt that's maybe late
Mhm.
onset, or, or late stage, or it's not until their 30s or 40s that they're starting to see like actual progression.
Mhm.
So you're living your whole life
Mhm.
driving,
Yep.
working,
Yep.
doing your thing, having kids,
Yep.
and then later in life, your vision has drastically changed.
Mhm.
So you
Yeah.
you don't know what you need until you need it.
Exactly.
And luckily there's so many places, I'll say in Kansas City, there's so many places in St. Louis
Mhm.
that provide
Mhm.
these types of resources, this information, the awareness.
Mhm.
And with the foundation, again, I'm just trying to spread awareness
Yeah.
that we are not a full stop provider of resources,
Mhm.
but what we're providing is really substantial.
Yes.
And it's giving the hope and
Mhm.
uh, the fact that we can show like look at the
Yeah.
progress and look at what's coming
Yeah.
down the clinical trial
It's
research
happening.
advance pipeline.
It's happening.
That should make people so excited.
It is. It is very exciting. Yes.
And while we've talked about how long it takes,
Mhm.
years and years and lots of money, if it can help someone,
Mhm.
if it can slow down your vision loss or anyone
Mhm.
else's, that's
Yeah.
can we say that's worth the wait and the
Yes.
time?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I agree.
great.
Yeah. Well, you kind of answered our last
Did
question.
I?
You
Oh,
were
geez.
like, what
Did
are
I?
some of the
Oh, how
goals?"
exciting. Oh.
I was like, "Well,
Well,
I'll
look at
just let her go
me.
on that one."
Look at me jumping
Look at
ahead.
you.
Well, let's see.
Are there any other goals that you
Goal
would like to mention?
Okay, so we're talking about like goals for strengthening the heartland
Yeah.
chapters and how people can get involved. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I already mentioned what did I already say? Can
Spreading
just spreading awareness.
knowledge.
So yes. So my of course, continuing to expand the reach of the chapters
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
very important. That's something that we always need help with.
Yeah.
Those in the community, you know you know
Yeah.
you're better like I don't live here in Kansas City. I'm
Yeah.
part of this community, but
So
kind of
different.
adjacent,
Yeah.
and it's very different than, let's say, the community that I live in and am part of in St. Louis.
Mhm.
So we are always looking for people to help us expand our reach in the community,
Mhm.
whether it's getting better connected. Going back to previously, we were talking about getting better connected with universities,
Yes.
with
Yes.
doctors, medical professionals,
Mhm.
with uh, I mean, working closely with our professional outreach team at the foundation
Mhm.
to try to get more medical professionals, doctors,
Yes.
O&M specialists,
Yes.
um, to be aware of us, to be able to refer their patients to
Mhm.
us, um, just to further spread the word. I want to get the word out to everybody about the My Retina Tracker registry,
Mm,
which I don't think we touched on yet,
did
but
not.
we have it's a free, you can make a free account and join this registry.
Okay.
And when you do this, this is for individuals that have been diagnosed with a inherited retinal disease.
Mhm,
It connects you to a very secure, it's a it's it's a pipeline
mhm,
essentially
mhm.
for individuals to be connected with potential clinical trials
I love it.
that 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 would be tailored to, like,
Yes.
let's say your specific type of vision loss.
Yes.
So if so you make an account,
Mhm,
it helps us get more information so that we can see how many people in this community are diagnosed with
mhm,
Stargardt or with RP
mhm,
or a chromatopsia or
mhm,
whatever it is,
mhm.
whatever type of vision loss. And we can send, and we have an incredible team at the foundation, the My Retina Tracker registry team. They work very closely to make sure that information is sent out, that you're updated on the most current clinical.
That's
I
amazing.
keep saying clinical trials and
Yeah.
research, and
Yeah.
not to say these names interchangeably, but it's very it's a very good program. It helps us on the
Yeah.
reporting side,
Yeah.
and it helps us to identify, like, where do we need to fund projects, or what type of projects should we be funding.
Mhm.
So I encourage you to go on and register for that so
Yeah.
that you have more information on that.
Yeah.
Uh, our our open access genetic testing program, so important.
Yes.
And we want everybody to get genetically tested if they need that
Yes.
or would like to be genetically tested.
Yes.
And I would say I would say increasing fundraising efforts
Mhm.
is a goal of mine. I don't want to say separate from the walk, but
Yeah.
let's say all year round.
Yes.
We have a really good toolkit and program for people that want to do a DIY
Mhm,
fundraiser, even something, it could be something very small, it could be something large,
mhm,
but we have a lot of tools and resources and opportunities for people that, if a walk is not your thing or
mhm.
you want to do something a little different, we have we can help with that.
Yeah.
And for my role, like growing our corporate partnerships
Mhm,
and getting in front of, let's say, larger companies that maybe don't have a direct connection to vision loss,
mhm,
but are looking for an employee engagement
mhm.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Maybe they're looking for ways for their employees to be educated around accessibility, DEI, um, just more, Ju to expand,
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
I know I'm working with, quite a few new partners here in Kansas City and in St. Louis
Love
that
it.
are looking for opportunities like lunch and learns,
Mhm.
speakers, ways to get their employees, you know, te team building and getting more aware of accessibility
Yeah.
and topics around accessibility.
Yeah.
Because there may be people within their staff that are experiencing low vision
Mhm.
or vision loss progression,
They
and they
don't
would
know.
never know,
Yeah.
right?
I have experienced that.
And I would say, just circling back to continuing to grow our chapter and growing in every sense, whether it's, adding to our small but mighty chapter leadership team,
Yes.
getting more members involved. Where are there doctors or social workers
Mhm,
or low vision specialists that we're not
mhm,
connected with yet?
mhm.
We'd love to talk with them and meet with them and have them as part of our chapter so
Yeah.
that we can refer
Yes.
people to them
Yes.
and cross promote what they're doing.
Yes.
So those are my, let's say, highest priority goals and what I'm really focused on
Mhm.
over this year
Yeah.
and beyond.
Yes.
There's more, but we won't bore you with the with the details, the
We will
logistical
see all
details
your amazing work come through.
transpire. Well, it's
Yes.
certainly a team effort, and I just want to give a special shout out to our Kansas City chapter specifically. We have as I mentioned, a small but mighty leadership team.
Yes.
Haley, you're part of that, and
Yes.
it's been so wonderful. Not everybody on the team is personally affected, but maybe they have a family member or a friend or
Yes.
someone in their community that's affected.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, but it's just been so rewarding to to get to know and really be inundated in this community,
Mhm.
inundated in the best way.
Yeah.
And I'm looking so forward to seeing what growth will come
Me
this
too.
year and beyond. It's
I
so
know.
exciting.
I know.
So and I really appreciate Haley you inviting me to be here
Yeah.
talking with everyone that's listening.
I know.
Thank you all for listening if you
Yes.
are. And I'd be remiss without sharing. I want to share one more quick thing.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you've attended webinars of
Yes.
ours,
Yes.
and I'm so glad we're continuing to do those. We do have one coming up,
Okay.
and I want to bring attention to it. It's our uh, maybe you've heard if you've been around for a while, you've heard of these. We used to call these like the national chapter webinars
Mhm.
or the quarterly webinars,
Yeah.
and now I think we've rebranded them again to a vision webinar.
Okay.
But we have one coming up. This is after the vision walk. So after you've come to the May 3rd vision walk,
Mhm.
you're with Haley and I, so excited.
Mhm.
We're raising so much money and,
Yes.
and and sharing support for the foundation. On May 17th, we'll be doing our next webinar, and the focus is on mental health,
Oh my
which is a
goodness.
really
Yes.
important topic.
Yes.
It's something that's been highly requested.
Yes.
We've got a great program lined up. I would encourage anybody, it's free to join this.
Mhm.
It's in webinar format, so you don't have to be on camera. You
Beautiful.
can just come and listen and
Love it.
learn. So this will be May 17th. I believe it's at like 11 a.m.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
early
Yeah.
afternoon ish. But please make sure to join us for that.
Okay.
All the information's on our website,
Beautiful.
or feel free to reach out to me as your Kansas City chapter
Yes.
representative, and I'd be happy to send this and any other information that I've shared
Yeah.
with you.
That'd be great, and then I can just share it, to my email listing as well,
Oh
so
yeah,
we'll get
and
the word
then
out.
or Haley can get this
Nope, all
information.
Andrew.
Yeah,
Andrew, oh my gosh.
it's okay. All
Andrew.
me. I know. I know. Andrew, Andrea.
Yeah, we
I
have so
I
many
respond.
people.
I know. I know. It's okay.
I'm so tired, I'm so
No,
sorry.
you're so good. You're so good.
Ugh,
So I hope you can join us May 17th for our mental health focused webinar.
that is amazing
It's going to be
because
so good.
it's just not talked about enough. It
No,
really isn't,
it's
and
not.
it can hinder somebody from moving forward.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. So we hope that this is informative and helpful and really good information.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Great.
Let's see here. I think I wanted to ask you one last question.
Sure.
If you could tell anyone one thing about what you do,
Yeah.
or if you could tell somebody one thing, what would it be? Or like a
Oh.
mass of people,
Mm-hmm.
what would you share?
Mm. Like we're like in terms of my like what do I do professionally or what do I do in terms of my
Job?
position?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say like what's my elevator pitch? I
Yes.
would say
And I know I'm throwing you off
no,
here because
no, you're not at all. No, 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 you're not at all. No, I would say I so with the Foundation Fighting Blindness, I work with all types of individuals,
Mhm,
let's say affected, non-affected.
mhm,
I'm their first point of contact.
mhm.
So my whole position is relationship building,
Yeah,
relationship cultivation.
yeah.
Not just because I'm extroverted, not because I'm an extroverted person,
But
but
mostly.
but my position is that I'm
Yes.
forming relationships with people, whether I'm bringing them into our chapter and our network,
Mhm,
introducing them to someone.
mhm,
Maybe I'm helping uh, a family, an individual, a group
mhm,
with connecting with someone that could really benefit uh, their uh, their journey, what they're experiencing.
mhm,
I'm the one that's going and speaking to corporate partners,
mhm,
giving them maybe a presentation or introducing them to someone on our team.
mhm.
I'm a connector.
Yep.
I'm a relationship
Mhm,
building connector
mhm,
professionally.
mhm,
And by let's say throughout my career, I've been a communications professional,
mhm,
an educator, like a
mhm,
science educator specifically.
mhm,
And my graduate work, I studied community engagement,
mm,
specifically. Like my research, my dissertation research was on trust and community engagement
mm.
and what that relationship looks like.
Yeah.
So luckily, all of that comes to life and fruition
Mhm,
in this role in my work.
mhm.
And while this is more development than I've ever done in my life, I it's been a really rewarding, challenging experience.
Mhm.
And it all comes down to the relationships and the
Mhm.
people.
It
That's
does.
why I do this.
It
That's why I
does.
do this. It's all about the the individuals and the communities
Mhm.
coming together.
Mhm.
I know that's not really an elevator pitch. That was
It's
like a
okay.
few sentences,
It's okay.
but does that answer your
Yes.
question or
Yes.
roundabout
Yes.
indirectly?
I think it answered it really if you could tell people one thing about what you do and how it helps, it's building the connections, and sometimes that's forgotten because you're in such a panic mode
Yes.
of where do I go? Who do I talk to? Do I need to talk to? I don't wanna talk to, all
Yeah.
the things.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So
connections.
I would say I'm the connector,
You're the
making the
connector.
connections.
All of the connections.
And I feel bad. Sometimes it's hard because and I'm sure maybe you guys run into this too when when a constituent comes to you and says, "I need this." Like I
Mhm.
need financial help. Or
That's a tough
I
one.
mean,
Yeah,
I get asked all the time for help with things that
we can't.
we don't provide that.
Yeah,
And maybe I don't have a resource or a reference
or the
to
process is long.
or the process is long and
Yeah.
arduous. Yes. So I I do what I can and I listen and and I don't want to say I try to redirect, but sometimes sometimes
You have
I
to.
can't I can't help in the way that people need,
Yeah.
but uh,
There are resources.
there are resources out there
Yeah.
and that's going back to it's overwhelming and it's daunting
Mhm.
to look into this further, especially if you're newly diagnosed,
Mhm.
but to get as much information as you can
Yep.
so that you feel equipped
Yep.
to what you qualify for, what
Mhm.
what and not to go into a whole we could talk a whole another segment on disability
Yes.
um,
Resources.
resources,
Yeah.
accessibility. You
Yeah.
know, we could go
Oh,
do
yeah.
a deep dive into that
Yes.
another time.
Yes.
But just ensuring that information that you gather
Mhm.
can't be taken from you.
Yeah.
So once you equip yourself with as much as you can handle or as much as you have,
Mhm.
that's going to help you and maybe your family, whoever you're going
Mhm.
through this with.
Mhm.
It's going to help you determine a way forward.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So
I
that's
agree.
what I would say.
Well said.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
If it's alright with you, I think, we've really answered all of the questions that I've had.
Oh, good.
Um,
Great.
is there a way that people can best get connected to you specifically? Like, if they were to go to the
Yeah.
website, do they just search Andrea or
Yeah. So I would say to so to get to the foundationfightingblindness.com,
Mhm.
if you go to either, depending on where you are,
Mhm.
I would start with our chapters
Mhm.
page. So there's a drop down menu for
Okay.
chapters,
Yep.
and I think the website is so smart, and I think it will determine where you are.
Okay.
So like if Kansas City is closest to you,
Mhm.
if St. Louis is closest to you,
Mhm.
uh, eh, start with our chapter pages.
Okay.
That'll have my information on it.
Love
You
it.
can always email chapters@fightingblindness.org
Okay.
and that will get forwarded to me. It's hard because we don't have chapters everywhere yet. We're
Yeah.
working on it. We have over 40
Yeah.
all over the country, which is great. And we're expanding. We're growing. We have more colleagues I have some new colleagues that are starting. So we're able to get more of a reach.
Yes.
But if you're in in a city or a state where there isn't a chapter yet,
Mhm.
that doesn't mean that there won't be. It just means we don't have, we need to have, uh, let's say, a small group of people
Yeah.
that are wanting to help
Going.
get it going and off the
Mhm.
ground. So
Absolutely.
if you're in, and I don't want to name name any particular states, but if there are a few states where there aren't any chapters,
Mhm.
but we want to still hear from you and help as we can.
Yeah.
Like we mentioned, there's a lot of webinars, there's a lot of virtual opportunities
Mhm.
for people to still join us and follow the information. We
Yeah.
send a lot of emails
Yes.
out. I know,
Yes.
sorry,
It's
a lot of
okay.
emails, but it's a lot of good information.
It is. It
You
is.
can tailor what information you want to receive.
Mhm.
But I would say start with our chapter pages.
Okay.
You can my email and phone numbers on there. You can reach me that way.
Mhm.
And I'd love to talk with you or get you best connected with whatever information resource would would be most beneficial.
Yeah. No, I love it. That's great.
Yeah.
So, if you would like, we would like to hear more updates from you as time goes on,
Oh, sure.
and if needed,
Yes.
we can have you back on the podcast.
Oh,
Um,
if you'll have me back.
oh, absolutely. Um, but yeah, if you could keep us updated, that would be great, and then
Yeah.
we can just share information as much as we can.
Absolutely.
Okay?
I'd love to. And as I mentioned, when you go on the chapter,
Mhm.
any of the chapter pages, there's a way to register for to receive emails and
Yes.
updates like for
Yes.
the Kansas City chapter. So when we
Yes.
have events or highlights, we're going to try going forward to do more cross promotion
Okay.
of other low vision
Yeah.
um, related events in the community,
Mhm.
news. So
Love
be
it.
sure to join our email list so that we can keep you updated on what's going on in person and virtually
That's
in the
amazing.
World Wide Web.
Yes. Love it. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been the best conversation ever. Thank
Haley,
you.
thank you. Thank you for having me, and thank you to the
Absolutely.
whole person for inviting me to be on here.
Absolutely.
Thank you so
Anytime.
much.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Well, have a great rest of the day.
Bye.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us today on our podcast. Today, I'm going to go through some of the monthly events that the whole person hosts. Again, my name is Haley Korf. I am your vision impaired host today, so bear with me. I've got a lot of notes here, okay? All right, the first event is Getting Social. It's the first Friday of every month. The next event is Time to Spare, and that is the third Wednesday of every month. That is our accessible bowling open to everyone who has a disability. The next event is Mind's Eye View, and that is the first Monday of every month. That is more geared towards people who are vision impaired or blind to get together and talk about some of the difficulties. Then after that, we have our DIY skills for young adults, age range 18 through 24, and that is the last Wednesday of every month. Brain Injury Peer Support Group, the second Thursday of every month. And then Tech Talk, the second Monday of the month. And that is also geared towards people who are vision impaired or blind to get together and talk a little bit more about accessibility issues. If you have any more questions, feel free to look it up at thewholeperson.org. And again, please join us for any event at any time. Thank you.